Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are, whenever you are. Welcome to a new Breakout Solutions live stream. I'm your host, Matt Patiri, here with you on a Monday. It's Easter Monday. Happy Easter to all you Catholics out there and Christians, I think, as well, and anyone else that believes in Jesus Christ. Happy Easter to you. It's probably Easter Sunday if you're watching this in the US. And probably Easter Monday if you're everywhere else. So sorry for the delay in today's stream. I have no idea what was going on. Our software was not working. I had to restart my computer, and here we are 9-10 minutes past 5. I'm a little bit late, but hopefully you can enjoy this video and we can figure out together what's happening with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, I'm going to go through, I'm not going to say it's going to be longer, but I'm going to go through a lot of the different indicators that I use today. So we're going to try and see if we can find some confluence in the indicators to see if Bitcoin is going up or is Bitcoin going down. How do I stop getting this shit from flooding my inbox? I'm sorry, Mal, if you feel that way. I probably should not read out these comments out loud next time. You can unsubscribe, and if you are not happy, then you don't have to be here. All right, so we're looking at things on a weekly basis. Bitcoin is still on the outside of this channel that it obviously created with its its price action over the last well, basically close to nearly the last year. So in the last year, basically this entire section from we're in May, January, February, March, April, May. We're in April, so this is April. So this, from April, which is here, this has basically been a year right there. So Bitcoin is still down in the last year. 40%. Right, so we're still down 40% in the last year. So for any of you Australians out there that do their taxes mid-year, this could be an opportunity to break even, or claim a loss now with Bitcoin at some point before the end of financial year. Not financial advice, actually. I shouldn't have said that, but that's, you think about the losses over the last year, because those things are going to be taxable events. So just make sure you do your taxes. You might, there's things out there that you can do to improve your taxes. I'm not going to say what they are. Starts with a W, and you can sell at a loss and all that type of jazz. So think about what the market is currently doing and make your decisions. I do have a couple of boxes still down here from the last live stream that I did, and these are the imbalances from this huge 2 weeks that we had, starting the early March and then finishing in mid-March, where we went from 19,000 to 29,000. These imbalances, think of them as CME gaps. So very similar to CME gaps, but it's got to do with price action. So we've got some big imbalances below, but usually these imbalances, it's been so long now, I feel like they're irrelevant. They've become irrelevant, a bit like a CME gap. Usually, I think the statistic is 95% of CME gaps fill in the first 7 days and then possibly later on. So it's a high percentage of gaps to be filled in the first 7 days. So because the imbalances are very much like gaps, I think now that we've had a month of consolidation sideways, I think those imbalances are not as important. However, I'm going to keep them as a reference point. So if we do go, let's just say to 50K, which is about the 618 fib retracement from all-time high to the low, right here. If we go to 50K, I do believe we will probably have a decent retracement over the later end of this year, and and leading up to the halving. And then the halving will be the catalyst for the exponential bull run. So like I still believe, and I've spoken about this on previous streams, I do think that Bitcoin has the potential to come up here with everything that's going on globally, and then we'll go choppy down, and how low we go, maybe worst case 618 retracement, which is exactly where we are now. And we've built up so much consolidation. Look at that. That seems like a perfectly good idea of what Bitcoin could do. So blast to the golden pocket, which is what it did in the previous bear market. We've talked about this before. Previous bear market, Bitcoin here, we had the mid bear market rally, right? And it was the 618 from the previous all-time high of 20K to the lows of 32. Boom, golden pocket, hit it, and then we went down for a long period of time, and then we recovered until the halving. The halving was around here or something, and then we just went crazy, right? So this is what I'm expecting with Bitcoin. Like, history is a good indicator. People trade off patterns, stuff like that. And this is history repeating itself the same way that Bitcoin usually retraces to 85% of its all-time high every bear market. But this bear market was the first time that it did not go back 85%. So from high to low here, you can see that the same thing happened in the previous bull market. We had a high, we had a low. We came up to the 618 right here, which was at the time $800. And then we came back. Let's see what this is. Yeah. We came back at least to the 0.5 fib retracement, and then we blasted off. All right. And I'm saying that maybe we come back to the 618, which is where we are now. So back to the charts. I'm blabbing on, but hopefully you guys are getting a lot of value out of this. So Bitcoin, I think over the next couple of months, and probably just maybe even in the next month or so, because it needs to happen fast, because we need to have a long time of coming down. I do think that Bitcoin has a lot of power in it to reach these levels over the next couple of months. And then we go sleepy, and then hopefully we come back down to 28,000, something like that. It seems good. Seems like a good bit of support we'll have here. And then, we'll just continue, because this consolidation is bullish, guys. This is building up a lot of support. So basically, if we break, and when we break this, and I do think we're going to break this, this is going to be great support. Spending a whole month here sideways is really good, because what you do is when you build that support, then it becomes like when it gets retested, boom, it just shoots up, because people see that support is very important. Right here, we had 3 weeks of sideways at about, 5,200, right? Unfortunately, just due to COVID, we obviously had these not scam weeks, these huge Darth Maul sort of weeks. But I reckon that if we didn't have COVID, we didn't have this craziness, I think we would have stopped at 50, right here, 5,100, 5,500. So, and look where the weekly candles close. The weekly candles close at 5,300. 5,300, which is exactly the same spot here, 5,300, boom, right there. This candle open was this here. So look, I think there's a lot of opportunity for Bitcoin to do the exact same thing, head up to 50K, then retrace down to where we are now, which is the 28K. Even, it's done 0.5 before. So even hitting here, coming back down to 33,500. If we get lucky, we come back down to 30, and then we just continue up. All right, so let's look at Bitcoin a little bit closer. Geez, I'm blabbing on. So a couple of my indicators. So we're definitely coming to a climax here on market side for B, where it looks like we're topping out. Like the VWAP is coming down to the 0 line. I thought we might have got an anchor wave confirmation this week, but we didn't. So it means that we could still push higher. On the 5-day, I do believe we have a red dot. So that's why we've had this stop in momentum for the last couple of weeks. Let's go to the daily. So the daily did print a green dot, and we've got the building of a new wave. And the good thing is here as well is the money flow is going from red to green, so it's pointing in the upward direction, meaning money is coming back into the market, and that's pretty obvious with what's happening around the globe. Right, the US dollar is losing its purchasing power. A lot of people looking for a safe haven. Inflation is at all-time highs. People are looking to park their assets in something that's going to protect them, and that's what Bitcoin was built for. So market cipher, things are looking interesting on the daily. We had on the MACD, sorry, this is on the 4 hour, my apologies. On the 4 hour, money wave, money flow going to the upside. We had a bullish cross on the MACD. It is below the zero line, so we're not going to get huge lift off out of this, but it'll be interesting because there's technically holidays everywhere. I'm not too sure if Wall Street is even trading on the day like today because it is Easter Monday. So maybe when they wake up tonight, we're gonna get a bit of fuel to the fire, and hopefully we can push higher. But look, on the daily, all the other indicators, the BBWP, which basically means the momentum, we're building up a lot of momentum because we've had so much consolidation. And this is the Bollinger Band width percentiles. And that means the Bollinger Bands are really squeezed, really hard, and we're going to get a big move. In either direction, I do favor to the upside. Things are looking like we're going to continue. So, yeah, I think this is only just bullish. We're going to probably get maybe like a scare week down where people are like, oh, it's actually going down, and it grabs all the liquidity down here of people that have their stop losses because they've longed, anywhere from this week here, which was 21,200. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get like a wick below 27,200 at some point, just like a big death week, and then it gets all bought up, and then we push nice and fast to the upside. So be careful. Those whales will do anything to grab your liquidity. I do think we're going to continue going higher, but don't get me wrong. I can see the whales being real sneaky and like dumping the price in the short term just below 27.2, right? Just bang, grab all the liquidity. People have their stop losses here because, they've longed basically anywhere here in the last, basically if you've longed in the last week, 2 weeks, you're thinking, oh yeah, this is looking good. So they might even go lower. They might even try and do 26,500. But as long as we don't close below 27,000, we don't close the daily below 27,000, it's all guns blazing. So don't be surprised if we see a couple of scam weeks at this price. And the price above, right? So right now. All right, so I would be setting some limit orders, buy orders, and also my long positions around here. I'm already in a good long position from $17,500. But here, this is a good little scalp. So if I'm awake, I'd be looking if the price comes down to long from here and also long from here. All right, so things are looking bullish in my opinion. I do think things will continue, and that's basically it, guys. I've wrapped things up. I'm just looking at the shorter time frames, like we've just had. Let me put the Bollinger Band so you guys know exactly what the Bollinger Bands look like, and we'll just zoom right in. We'll go Bollinger Bands. Bollinger Bands. Okay, so you have this high line and this low line and this midline, and on every time frame, but most importantly, the daily, they're squeezed, meaning we're going to get some reaction. So you can see here, this is when the last time they were squeezed pretty tight. Here as well, before we had this huge run up. Here we weren't, but you can see we hit the top side, the bottom side was like support resistance. And you can see that basically in history, whenever we see these lines come together, we see huge action, huge volatility before we settle again. Because I've said this before, most assets, they'll trade sideways for a long period of time, then have an explosive move to the upside or downside, and then sideways again. So it's always consolidation. You can draw boxes quite easily to see these patterns. So you can, just being rough. So just being rough, there's a range. So you go copy and you go paste, and then you can just basically create ranges everywhere. There's ranges everywhere. So basically you have ranges things consolidate, and then you see another explosion to the upside. Thank you for sharing. No worries, Dina. Good day, Rowboat. Hope everyone's having a great time. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on all notifications. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. As I said, I think that Bitcoin is looking good. Just to summarize, Bitcoin is looking good, looking for higher prices, but don't be surprised if we see a couple of scam wicks to try and scare those people thinking, like me, that it's going higher, and then they go, poof, and then it gets bought back up. So, the whales out there, they have a lot of money, a lot of liquidity, and they can dump the price quite quickly to scare the retail investors like you and me. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. See you guys Wednesday for the altcoin the altcoin research live stream where we try and find the next 1000x coin. We did really well. Actually, someone did reach out to me and said, hey, your pick from last week's done really good. It was not RenQ. It was, here we go, Acquirify. There we go. So a week ago, we talked about this. It was at 0.014 cents and it's doubled. So you put $100 in, you would have made $200. So you put in 100, you would have made 100 profit. So guys, we talked about Acquirify. It was a $500,000 market cap last week. It's now over $1 million. So hopefully you guys have been watching my live stream. Let's what else did we look at? We looked at Amazy. Amazy was another one. Has a really good concept. So a week ago it was higher. So a week ago it was doing. So you're getting it at a bit of a discount. And this project looked really good. I really liked it. It's anyways, today's not about altcoins, today's about Bitcoin, but those are a couple of things that we talked about last week on the altcoin TA. So if you want to see and make some money and gamble on a few altcoins, jump along to the Wednesday live stream and I'll see you there. Bye guys.